So this is the dashboard we created in Power BI, and that is an incident trend analysis tool. All right, so let's have a look at what this dashboard is all about. I'm going to look at the source data, which is the Microsoft Excel file. All right, so let's try and understand. As we're looking at an incident trend, you're looking at injury analysis, you're looking at downtime analysis, you're also looking at days since the last incident. So these are important metrics when it comes to analyzing workplace accidents. So we're looking at the total incident, the total recordable injuries, the property damage, and then the external spill. And of course, we're looking at it in the context of companies or sites. So it depends on what you put in the data source. So it could be actually company or site. And we're looking at all the various types of incidents. So the near miss, the contained spill, the medical treatment case, the property damage, the first aid cases, the lost time injuries, external spill, fatal accidents, and on work related. Now, as you can see, as I hover the mouse on it, you can see the tooltip right in there to give us a lot more insight. And we have the incident cause category, which has to do with technological, procedural, behavioral, and on work related. So that's pretty much. And we have the types of persons involved in the accident. So that could be green hands or new employees, agency workers, contractors, and own workers. All right. So it depends on the data that you put in there. So we're going to look at the Excel file in due time so you can understand all these are variables. These can change depending on the type of incident, the type of workers, and all of that. And then we have the incident trend. So the incident trend, we can actually drill down. All right. You can drill down to quarterly to year as well. Okay. So this is the excitement of Power BI that users can actually engage with it. They can apply filter. So they can filter by the company. They can filter by the incident type. They can filter by the month when the incident occurred. They can also filter by the year. And then we have the incident location. We have the, that's pretty much it. And then we go into the injury analysis. And this is where it really gets very excited because we are looking at all types of injuries. But obviously, the metrics are the total injuries, the total recordable injuries, how many fatalities, how many lost time injuries, how many medical treatments, how many restricted work cases and first aid cases. And then we have the causal factors for the injuries. So this is actually limiting this whole calculation to those incidents that resulted in injuries, because not every incident results in injury. And we are looking at the types of employees who are involved in these types of incidents and then the trend of the incident. So we can see the maximum value, which is 3 in the month of August. And the interesting thing is that all of these visuals, we are estimating the maximum and then the minimum value. So obviously you can apply the filter and everything filters. That's the excitement of Power BI. Now, one interesting thing you need to take note of is the fact that the body part injured is dynamic. So we have all of these, maximum values being highlighted around the body part. So as you can see, it changes to this and this, which is the hand injury and then the head injury. All right. So the hand or finger injury and then face injury, as you can see. And then we can actually apply a filter again and it changes. So this actually changes based on which part of the body that is injured. So if you click on lost time injury, it's a finger injury. If you click on first aid case, it is actually a finger injury and then face injury and foot injury. But then we are looking at the maximum value. So these are the maximum values. And then we can also look at like fatal accident, and that is a head injury. So the excitement of this template is the fact that it's really, really dynamic, even with the body part. And then we have the downtime. So every accident will cause some downtime in operations, and we need to be able to, account for these downtimes, right? So we have the downtimes by company, or all the downtimes that we've recorded, downtime from fatality, downtime from lost time injury, downtime from restricted work case, downtime for medical treatment case, and downtime for first aid cases. And we have the downtime by companies, by causal factors, by various incident types, okay? And then we have by various injury types. So some injuries result in much higher downtime or much greater downtimes, right? So downtime that were caused by employees, types of employees. So the green hands are causing a lot more downtime in our operation. They're getting themselves involved in a lot more incidents, right? And then we have the downtime trend. So you can tell that in the month of December, we had a lot of downtime, a 47 downtime, which is in hours, in terms of hours. And then we have the day since the last incident. So this is basically the safety scoreboard. So you have a scoreboard where you're tracking the last, LTI, the last near miss, the last total recordable case. We have all of that here. So day since the last total recordable injury, the day since the last fatal accident, the day since the last lost time injury, and all of this. And we have the last days over here. So based on the date of the last incident, we are calculating the difference between that date and today. So today keeps increasing, right? So this is what we have in here. It's going to keep increasing until there's probably a recent incident, like maybe yesterday. Then it's going to stop counting from the last to now yesterday, if the incident happened yesterday. So this accounts on, if I should put it that way. So that's how exciting this template is. This is an incident trend analysis tool, and it is taking a source from an Excel sheet. So the Excel sheet is this one, and then we have the various important parameters. So these are all the list of parameters that we are using in our data set. So the data set is this one, and there's a list of parameters. So you can actually change all these parameters, all right, to your own terminology. So you can have your list of companies or sites in here. You can even change the various types of incidents. The body part is a standard body part. Okay, so there's no issue here. Even the types of injuries are standard types of injuries, but if you want to add on, you can do that. Types of employees or types of person involved in an asset, you can change all of that. Even when it comes to causal factors, you can change that. Once you change, you can all be available to use in a drop down list. So the drop down list will start from here. You can select from a drop down list, you can select from a drop down list and all of that. And then we have a timeline. So this is basically the Excel version. We have a timeline in there where you can provide a pictographic sort of trend of your incident, so in the form of a timeline. And we have the incident dashboard. This looks very amazing, but the challenge is the fact that this is local to your computer because it's an Excel file, and so it's very difficult to share as report or even use them for presentation. You would probably have to do the filtering yourself for people to know what's happening here and there. But guess what? When you convert everything to Power BI, then it simply becomes a web link. You just share it with your stakeholders. You can embed it in SharePoint. You can even embed it in Microsoft Teams, and that makes it much easier for everybody to engage with your dashboard. All right, so within that, we have the body part injured as well. So as you can see, there's something similar to what we have in Power BI. We also have it in Excel, and then we have all of these other visuals or report that we've created, based on the data sets. Right, so this is actually the very first template that we put together, which was, it's really a very nice template. So people could actually resort to just using the Excel, but if you want to go to the next level and put together an executive report, something that you can share with the top management, then you want to use Power BI. So with Power BI, basically this is the Power BI file. Okay, so we have it already open. So this is a Power BI, Power BI file, and this file is where you can do all the changes. So all you need to do is just change the logo, and then you can sort of change the colors. If you want to change the colors, you're free to do that. So that's pretty much it. Now, if you want to learn how to build this template, that's very simple. Just connect with me. I'm going to teach you how to build this same template. Of course, you should be a good user of Power BI so that we can teach you the various steps that we use together with the DAX measures and everything. I'm going to see you guys in another video. Bye for now. Cheers.